afternoon, City of Taylor, and welcome to the State of the City Address of 2025. I am so happy to be here and welcome all of you. My name is Michelle Matney. I am the Taylor Rotary Club president. I also work at Downriver Community Conference. My life is dedicated to our community, as you see, personally and professionally. So welcome. So if I could have everyone stand up and join me in singing My Country 'Tis of Thee. Change in the program. Pastor Ryan, doing his pastoral duties, he had a funeral this morning, so he's on his way. So in his place, I would like to introduce Keith to do our invocation this afternoon.
Good evening, or good morning, everybody. But I am representing Pastor Ryan from Northline Church. I go to Northline Church, and like, as Michelle said, he is at a funeral. So if you would all bow your heads, and we will say a quick prayer and get this meeting started. Dear Heavenly Father, we are just so thankful for this day today. We ask that you pour a blessing upon this meeting today, but also we ask today that you pour a blessing upon this city, upon this state, upon this country, and across the world, so we can just help make a difference. We are just so appreciative of all the gifts that you've given us and the chance and the opportunity to meet today, and we just thank you that we're able to serve you and serve our community, and we just thank you for this meeting today. We pour a special blessing over Mayor Woolley as he addresses everybody today, and we just want to thank everybody for all their blessings and contributions to this world and this community. And again, Father, we just ask for a blessing over this meeting, a blessing over this food that we're about to have today, and give each and every one here that's a leader in their community, in their business, maybe their churches. And we ask that you just give each and every one of them strength to help lead this charge to make a difference in this world. And we just ask for a blessing for all of our community, our city, and our world, and our state. And we just appreciate the opportunity to be able to serve you. And we love you and we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Keith. Beautiful job for the last minute, but these things happen. So anyways, I do want to talk about, let's see here, about Rotary. Rotary International is the largest service organizations in the world. We are over 1.1 million Rotarians in the world wide. There are over 46,000 Rotary clubs in the world. Now I'd like the opportunity to tell you about the wonderful things that the Taylor Rotary Club has planned in the next few weeks or few months. We are doing our Derby party on May 2nd here at the beautiful Lakes of Taylor. Big hats, Derby race, you do not want to miss that event. Then we also are going to have our Family Fun Day at Northline Church, Northline Baptist Church, or Beacon Baptist Church. Sorry about that, shouldn't have taken the glasses off. Beacon Baptist Church right there, Northline and Racco Road on June the 7th. Let's get these back on. And then we have our Wounded America Charity Motorcycle Ride on July 19th. We have our annual golf outing on August the 21st. And then we have a special law enforcement appreciation softball game at Rotary Park right next to the State Police Post. That is a wonderful, wonderful time. For our business out there, we do have these cards on the table. We have a charity bundle that you can represent your company and help us out, right? So all three events on here would be the Family Fun Day, the Charity Golf Outing, and the Policeman Appreciation Day. We have a special discount through April 1st. Inside of the card, it does have information that you can fill out if you would like to be one of our sponsors. Also, we do have a 50-50 raffle, so that's exciting. Those buckets were getting full out there, so we will continue to sell these a little bit after lunch, and then we'll be calling the numbers. So if you're interested in that, please make sure you get your tickets. Now, something very, very special. The Paul Harris Fellow Award. The Paul Harris Fellow Award is the highest award is given in Rotary. The Paul Harris Fellow Award is given to someone in the community that has made a significant contribution and impact in our community. With Rotary motto to say, service above self. This year, a fireman made a significant impact in our community. And I am so proud to be standing in front of all of you to tell this beautiful story. This is definitely puts you service above self. This past July, an autistic teenager wandered into a 10-foot deep retention pond behind the Wayne County Community College here in Taylor. The mother of the teenage boy called 911. Numerous attempts trying to get her son and coax him out of the pond. Upon arriving on the scene, the Taylor Fire Department tried coasting the young man out of the pond for a significant amount of time. After failing to get the young man to come out of the pond, this fireman decided to swim out to the teenager and try to help him to ashore. This fireman convinced the teenager, let's take a piggyback ride. Let's pretend we're doing a dolphin ride and get back to shore. Putting the young man on his back, the fireman swam back to the shore with the young man on his back and safely returned to his mother. This is one of the many stories how individuals in our community and how they serve. We are so thankful for these unselfish acts that are performed by our Taylor Fire Department on a daily basis. Thank you, everyone at the Taylor Fire Department. So without further ado, the Taylor firemen who went above and beyond and performed service above self. This year's Rotary Paul Harris Fellowship Award winner is Taylor fireman and medic, Mr. James Zuber. Please put your hands together. Congratulations. Thank you. Now, wasn't that an inspiring story? I was so excited to tell that story. I'm so proud to be a Taylor resident and to be up here right now. Now, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce Carl Sinek.
Okay, good morning, everyone. How are you? All right, what a miserable looking group. You can do better than that. How are we today? Hey, yeah, exactly. Okay, I've got a little, just a few people that we want to recognize. You know, this comes from the mayor's office, so you know that you gotta go with it here. First, our own elected officials: Mayor Tim Woolley, Clerk Cindy Bauer, Treasurer Michelle Tocco, our City Council members Doug Geis, Jill Brandana, Angie Winton, Charlie Johnson, Lindsay Rose, and Tina Daniels, and our two judges, Victoria Shackelford and Joseph Slava. For our state and county officials, Senators Darren Camilleri and Erica Geis, Representatives Jamie Thompson and James DeSena, County Commissioner Alex Garza, I saw Alex somewhere, and County Executive Warren Evans. Our federal officials are Shri Tanadar and Senators Debbie Stabenow and Gary Peters. A few other faces that I want to recognize in the crowd. Jim Perry is here from the DCC. Lieutenant Lance Cordier, I believe, the post commander for the Michigan State Police Metro South Post. Our production line of former judges, that's forwards William Sutherland and Gino Salamone, surrounding center Anthony Nacita, Mayor Mark Jacobs of Garden City, Romulus Mayor Robert McCrate, Assistant Wayne County Executive Andrew Pandrivas, Riverview Mayor Andy Swift, Riverview City Manager Jeff Dobeck, an old friend of ours, Dearborn Heights Mayor Bill Bazzi, Southgate Mayor Joseph Cuspa, Deputy Mayor of Westland James Gadbout, Brownstown Supervisor Sherry Bariz, Brownstown City Manager Brian Peters, and then I believe Molly Tampson may be here for Warren Evans, and Jeremy Cady for Darren Camilleri. So a little applause for all those people who try to help today. We're moving quickly toward our featured speaker. I just want to let you know that unlike a lot of the past State of the Cities, we're focusing really on the term this time versus just the year. So we're going to be taking a look, you're going to be looking at a high-level look at the years 2022, 23, and 24, which is Mayor Woolley's administration's time in office. And now what we did is 2 years ago, last year you got me doing kind of a schmaltzy look at Tim on the introduction, but 2 years ago we did a more of a video presentation on what some key people thought of the mayor, and that's how we're going to introduce him with another group. So Sam, if you want to take that away, fire away, and here we go.
Mayor, you and Mayor Tim Woolley, friends, even before he was mayor. Tell us about how that started and things.
Yeah, I think it's a great story. I met Tim through common interest. You know, Tim being a veteran of the United States Army, he was involved with Victory Gym that was just now starting up. You know, at the same time, I didn't serve in the military, but I was helping to grow an organization called Foundation 14. Both support veteran support groups. And so we had a common interest, and we developed a friendship. And it almost came to the point where, you know, I called him one day and said, hey, I heard that you're going to run for the office of mayor in Taylor. And he said, hey, I heard you're going to run for the office of mayor in Romulus. And it speaks to that, having a heart for giving back to your communities.
How important is the success of Taylor to the Chamber's goals and missions?
Absolutely critical. As you know, the city of Taylor is the largest community downriver. So it's really a central hub for so many industries, for different community-based organizations. The Chamber, the Southern Wayne County Chamber, we're located right here in the city of Taylor, which makes a lot of sense for us because not only is it the largest community, but it's probably one of the most centrally located communities for the Southern Wayne County region. So, long answer short, because I can go on and on about that. The success of the city of Taylor is absolutely critical to the overall success of our regional economy, our regional workforce, our residents throughout the entire downriver region. It's critical, Carl.
Yeah, so the City of Taylor has very large projects underway. Metro 94 Commerce Center, CMAX expansion at Christie Land North. These are job creators in the hundreds, if not thousands, over the next 5 to 7 years. And so, in working with the mayor and the city council and the city staff, these projects take a lot to move from point A to point Z. And so that relationship has grown to get these projects across the finish line.
You've often partnered with the city of Taylor, various departments on various events and things like that. How has that worked for your business?
Oh my goodness, it has really, really worked out when it comes to the return of our guests. This past year, we were up 12.4% in sales, and we see that from our community. When we partner in the community and we're handing out these event flyers and these event coupons, we're seeing these people come back and enjoy it, and it's seeing the similar faces, right? So I'm going to these events, I'm meeting these people, hands face and face, and then they're coming right back in and dining in, and I'm getting to see them again.
What's your relationship been like with Mayor Tim Woolley and his family?
Oh goodness, it goes back quite a while. Before Mayor Woolley was Mayor Woolley, his daughter Sarah actually started out as a host for me, and she worked with us for about 4 years, moved her way up into a server, so I got to watch her grow into her young adulthood. I watched her graduate from high school and all of that, and then I got to meet Mr. Woolley through her, and then he became Mayor Woolley. So it definitely goes back some time, and just seeing how great of a young woman she is reflects to both Tim and his wife.
Do you often compare notes with your surrounding mayors and Tim?
Quite a bit. We compare notes a lot. Mayor Bazzi out of Dearborn Heights, Mayor Woolley, and myself. And unless you've sat in these seats, you really don't understand it. So it's a great relief for us to sit down and decompress and compare notes and talk about what each other's going through. A lot of it's different, but a lot of it's the same. But like I said, unless you've sat in these seats, you really don't understand it. When you're trying to get something done like Mayor Woolley is in his community, and I'm trying to do in my community, you understand the pressures and the things where you want to get. It's not about having that seat. It's about giving back and achieving your goals for your community.
So the mayor's a no-nonsense type of person. He gets to the point, and I really appreciate that. When you're working with local elected officials, state elected officials, federal government officials to either do some road work, some water work, some sewer work, or land a $40 million project, getting to the point immediately is preferred.
I think it's great working with him. He's always there to answer. He's been very transparent, very honest, and so working with him has just been extraordinary. Extraordinary is the word that comes to mind, is because he is so open. He's always there for you, and he's straight and honest, and that's the part that I appreciate the most about working with him.
Tim, Mayor Woolley, has become a very dear friend to me, and he's somebody that I know I can rely on for almost everything, for every employer issue, for every workforce issue, for every community issue. Tim gets it. He's very business-minded. He's very employer-minded. He thinks about creating jobs, about creating a strong local tax base for all of our communities here in the Downriver region. He's always thinking about economic development and attracting good, high-paying jobs and employers to the community. He's thinking about recruiting talent to the community. So obviously, when a new mayor is elected, you always wonder, or a new leader, whoever that is, okay, what is this person going to bring? What's their agenda going to be? What are they going to be focusing on? And those are my thoughts when Tim was elected. And he has been dynamic in terms of all the things that I just talked about a moment ago. And he's become a dear personal friend to me. And I know he's really making a huge impact and a positive difference for the entire Downriver community and everything that he does.
What comes to your mind when you think about Tim Woolley, the past 3 years, him serving the city of Taylor? What comes to your mind?
The biggest thing that comes to my mind with Tim Woolley is his servant leadership. He's always the first one to be there to help. He's always the first one to say, hey, I'll volunteer and be a part of it. So his servant leadership and giving back to the community and being at all these special charity events, giving events, and putting himself out there to be available to help whenever there's a need. Servant leadership is the key for me to how I view Tim Woolley.
Something that's very important to me, and I recognize it in Tim right off the bat, was being genuine. Just being a genuine human being who's trying to give back and better community. He's not looking for something for himself. He's looking for something for this community, and I can relate to that because that's the same place we are in Romulus. And I think more elected officials need to be that way. You need to have these elected officials in these positions who were asked to serve on these roles. They didn't look to serve for these roles, and you have a different aspect. And I can see that in Tim Woolley being a genuine leader who cares about his community and trying to give back, not advance himself. He's trying to advance his community.
When I think of Tim Woolley, I think of just a down-to-earth, everyday guy who happens to also be one of the most dynamic leaders I have ever had the opportunity to work with. And I am so honored that the chamber is located right here in the city of Taylor, because that gives me the opportunity to be able to work very closely with people like Tim Woolley and his staff, the people that serve on his administration, the city council and others. Tim is just such a great guy. People love him. It's more than just liking and getting along with your mayor. People love Tim Woolley. He's just like your perfect mayor, if that makes sense. So a great guy, great friend, so excited to be able to continue to have the opportunity to work with Tim.
So the mayor's full of energy, full of life, but no nonsense. And so I appreciate that. He's respectful of everybody's time, and he gets the job done. And so Mayor, congratulations on this year, and I look forward to many more in the near future.
Now introducing a man whose appetite is always welcome for the 6-ounce filet at Texas Roadhouse, Mr. Tim Woolley.
Thank you. Thank you so much, but please sit down. I guess it's pretty bad when you go to Texas Roadhouse too much, where they know your order. But thanks for that, Bianca. We do like it there, and as she said, my daughter did work there for many years, so we do miss that discount a little bit. But I can't tell you how much I really appreciate all the nice things everybody said about me in that video. I didn't pay them. I feel like I should, though, and it's very humbling to hear all that nice stuff. And it's my wife's sitting there. I hope you heard all that, because people do think I'm a nice guy, and stuff. So my beautiful wife of 33 years, Amy, thank her for being here. But yeah, I would like to, thank everybody that participated in that. That was really nice. And I think I'm going to set that up as my hype video when I wake up every morning. So, but just to cover couple quick things, I just want to commend, I think we got to show our stuff today. Definitely our DPW crews and our building and grounds crews today coming into the city. I think you got to see what I get to see on a regular basis on how well we perform in a situation. I mean, it's a typical February Michigan day out there, and we got a lot of text messages, a lot of emails. Hey, is the show still going to go on? And our answer was absolutely, because I knew exactly that our people was going to do what they did here today. So kudos to our DPW and our building and grounds crew. And just to show you the dedication, actually our DPW director, Ralph, flew out to Florida yesterday for vacation. So, but in his dedication, he called me at 9:30 last night, telling me what the DPW was doing. And, I talked to Lanny, and, they were on top of it. So just unbelievable. And the building and grounds crew, you saw the parking lot. I got here early this morning, the parking lot, everything was great. And all of our other city buildings were ready to go this morning when people got to work. So just kudos to them, and it really gets to showcase the type of workers we have here in the city. Another thing I just want to point out too that I saw this morning, not sure where she's at, I saw her earlier, but it's our planning director, Laura Fell's birthday today. So I'd like to wish her a happy birthday. All right, and again, I'd like to thank all those elected officials that are here today. I really appreciate the support of you guys coming today, and it means a lot. And Pastor Ryan, I see you made it here, so glad to see you're here. And you had your duties first, so we appreciate you doing that and your dedication to your flock. So let's go ahead and get the show on the road here. As Chris said, I'm kind of a no-nonsense guy. So the first thing we're going to talk about is public safety. So over the years, as Carl said, we're going to talk about some things, and these are some really great things that we've been doing in the city. And a lot of this would not happen. ARPA funds were definitely great, but with the collaboration of City Council being able to approve this stuff is what has advanced our public safety. And these are huge, you know, and we're going to talk about police specifically here, but, you know, the drone first responder program, I think Taylor has done a phenomenal job at leading the way with drones. Drones are becoming more popular in a lot of departments. And we got onto this really quick, where a lot of departments were reaching out to us, asking us how to go about implementing that. And we just recently approved a $750,000 program where we're going to really update our drone program and actually house them where we can launch from certain locations in the city to get those on scene before police officers can even get there. Number one, to see if it's a legit, you know, concern if we get 911 calls. So that way we can get that drone there before an officer can maybe even get there to get eyes on scene. So that makes them safer and everybody else. Another thing is the Star Chaser program. That is literally like a darting and it allows us to back off on a chase. So as you guys see on the news all the time, a lot of times chases result into somebody innocently getting killed. This program allows our police cars to launch a dart that magnetically sticks to another vehicle, and then we can back off. And then we've had multiple times where we've been able to do this and then later track them down and arrest that individual. Another great program. Rad Dog, I'm sure you guys have seen it. We use this, it's a great opportunity to use in the community, but we unfortunately have quite a few barricaded gunmen from time to time, and this gives us an opportunity to send in this piece of equipment as opposed to sending in a human being. And it allows them to actually talk to an officer through the Rad Dog. Either we can put different pictures on there, or we can actually put the officer's face right there on that screen. So again, it makes our officers safer, and it creates a situation where, you know, the individual going through that crisis can talk more than on a phone. It kind of puts a face-to-face thing, and I don't believe we've had to use it yet, but we do use it as a kind of a, you know, we'll have it out during the Little League World Series. So it's a great way to interact throughout the community as well. And we're actually a pilot program for this company as well. So we appreciate them working with us. Another thing we've been doing is, you know, it's not Big Brother, but we have been installing over 300 campus security cameras throughout the city, building and properties. You know, our parks have a lot of vandalism. We're investing a lot of money in our parks and our buildings, and we want to make sure it stays that way. So people want to use our parks, but sometimes they're a little nervous about their safety. So these cameras actually help that. And it's not like we're trying to watch over anybody or anything like that, but we want to make our parks safe, and we want to keep them clean, and we want to keep those investments protected. So, you know, those are definitely helping us in that situation. New hiring. We're doing everything we can to hire new police officers and public safety, period. You know, our new program, we've added more competitive pay. We added lateral programs and stuff. And by the end of 2024, we added 6 sworn officers and 21 PSOs. However, as everybody knows in this room, as well as fellow politicians, it's a moving game. So we're always trying to stay competitive. We're going through that process right now, trying to retain and entice new public safety officials on a regular basis is always an obstacle, and we're going to continue to do that because public safety is not only one of my biggest priorities, but I know it is our communities as well. So, focusing on community outreach. This is big for me, especially with public safety, because a lot of times we don't want people, or I don't want to see people just think that our police officers, our firefighters, our ordnance are just out there writing tickets, you know, doing their jobs. It's important that they get out in the community and do things as well to show them that they're actually human beings too. You know, and it's great because many of our officers, our firefighters, our ordnance do this. They volunteer at a lot of these things. They interact with our community. The Night to Shine dance the other day, we just had that Friday, incredible event, one of my favorite events. Our police and fire were there all dressed up as, you know, to walk the guests down the red carpet, and it's always a great time. You know, the Unified Special Olympics Day is another great event. the basketball games. Our police officers have a pretty decent basketball team. I don't think they've been able to beat the Taylor High School team yet, but they've come close a few times. And then, they've actually worked the McDonald's fundraiser where they went in there, and they've been at the Texas Roadhouse fundraiser, Taylor Career Center Design Training Center, and the Walmart Goodfellows Holiday Shop with a Partner. That's another great event that I really enjoy going to. So it's important to me and important to us that, our public safety gets out there and gets involved into the community. And luckily, they're all willing and happy to do so. So I think that's huge in our community. Talking about fire, the upgrades in our fire technology. We've added a state-of-the-art system, alert system, replaced old fire reporting and management systems, which was huge, added laptops, tablets, and internet, added GPS traffic signals, controls for emergency vehicles, and replaced outdated radios. That's something we've been able to do over the last few years, and it's something that needed to be done, not just in fire, but in a lot of departments. A lot of our equipment was very old and outdated, so we've made it a priority. That was one of those things that we chose to do with ARPA funds, those one-time purchases to replace vehicles and equipment, especially on the public safety side and our DPW. And it's really come to fruition. And as you can see, this is one of our new ambulances that we finally received. It took us over 3 years to receive these. We got 3 coming, but we literally ordered this, I think, maybe 2 months after I got into office. So that's kind of one of the obstacles we're looking at now is, especially with, it seems like fire equipment, ambulances and fire trucks, you're almost looking at a 3-year wait on vehicles. So now you're ordering for years down the road. So it makes it a little tricky to kind of budget for that. But we just recently earmarked some money for fire engines. So it's been great that council has, realized that that's what we got to kind of start doing. So we're planning for the future, whether we're here or not. So I think that's a great thing. So we added the 3 new ambulances. We ordered 2 new fire engines, added 3 sets of Jaws of Life, added a foam trailer, replaced breathing apparatuses, added 3 thermal cameras, and replaced firefighter gear. Our Public Works Department. This is another area where we had a lot of old and outdated equipment. So we made a lot of investment on a lot of that stuff. But now we're going to talk about infrastructure. We invested more than $17 million in sanitary sewers, water mains, storm sewers, lead lines, lead service lines, and concrete and asphalt roads during fiscal 2022, 23, and 24. We maintain one of the lowest water and sewer rates in southeastern Michigan. A lot of people might not realize that, but we've actually worked hard at trying to keep our rates somewhat. And these are some of the things that we don't always, these aren't the shiny dime projects that you don't always get to see. But when you have a city that's 24 square miles, these are huge, and we're always doing our best to try to line these pipes, and it's just stuff that you have to do. And our crews have been doing great, and our DPW, our city engineer, Chris Gibbs, we've been sitting down every year and working out what's the best game plan to continue to keep our infrastructure in decent shape and continue moving forward to where we don't have problems. And so we're always working on that. And it's always going to happen. I think, a couple weeks ago, we had 26 water main breaks in 1 week. How many? 23. So thank you, Casey. But it just shows you how the dedicated of our water crew. That's when we had single-digit temperatures in the teens. They were out there for 24, 36 hours at a time working on that in those freezing weather conditions. But we're always trying to do that, and we're going to continue to do that. And luckily, we did receive a grant to help with that lead line. That is a priority of ours, and we're ahead of the curve when I look at other municipalities, and we're going to continue. And our goal is to be one of the first municipalities to complete that. So we've been sending out flyers. We need help from our residents to kind of help us, let us know if they do have lead lines. We're going to focus on that again here going into the spring because it just makes it easier for us. and it'll make it quicker as well. So some of the new equipment, and we got new equipment and we're doing less outsourcing, so we're doing more in-house, which in my opinion is a good thing. We invested $6 million across fiscal 22 through 24 to replace and upgrade existing equipment and fleet vehicles. More internal investment has meant less outsourcing of work. Key projects are the lead service line and recognition and replacement, as I talked about. Removing sycamore trees, which has been another problem, especially with our drains, and finishing the Good to Great neighborhood program, which we're going to continue to do, and we're almost coming to the end, and we're just going to continue that cycle moving forward. And around the calendar, street sweeping. These all help minimize wear and tear on our drains. So it's basically preventative maintenance. People will sit there and say, you know, why are we sweeping the streets right now? Getting all that stuff out of there. If there's not snow on the ground, just sweeping those streets on a regular basis is beneficial for our drains. The sycamore trees, I mean, they're beautiful trees, but they drop bark and leaves, and they cause a huge problem, and that's what causes a lot of the backups. So we're really trying to focus on that. In this litigious world nowadays, we're always trying to find ways to make sure water's going in the right place and not in people's basements. So, and that's just another program that we came up with that has helped out tremendously. We invested millions in buildings and grounds. Key investments, we installed LED walking paths lights through Heritage Park, updated interiors of DPW buildings. Key investments also are Heritage Park Church total renovation. That was completed after the fire. Took a little longer than what we expected, but it turned out beautiful. Concrete repairs and replacement at multiple city-owned properties. Rehab the train cars and caboose, which was much harder than you would think because there's not a lot of people that do that. So we were able to find a historian and then find somebody to do the job. So I was glad we were able to keep those, and I think they look beautiful, and they're definitely a focal point of Heritage Park. We created Heritage Hall. That was a kind of a tough one. You know, we took a little bit of slack for that. But I want to say that Guido and Melanie came up with that great idea. We had a building that was being used temporarily, but as other mayors can probably realize, everything's going up. So we're always trying to find ways to find revenue. And having a church literally 50 yards away from this building, it was discussed to maybe consider making that into a hall. And that's what we did. And it has worked out tremendously. And it's actually beautiful. We host our mother-son dances there and our daddy-daughter dances there. And every time I go in there, I'm always amazed. And people compliment it all the time. And it's just now a revenue source that just helps us, you know, maintain that balanced budget. So we're always looking at creative ways to try to bring in revenue to cover cost. And that was just another great example of a great idea of some of the teammates that we have here in the city of Taylor. Currently, we're working on HVAC updates at 4 key buildings. Installed a new HVAC at the Taylor Meadows Golf Course. New track floor at the rec center. Renovated and painted the interior and exterior of the rec center. And rehab the senior center pavilion roof and structure. And a new generator at the senior center. New playscape at Rotary and Homestead Parks. New flooring at Fire Station 1 in the 23rd District Court. We remodeled the police department locker rooms and the new roofs at the police department, auxiliary building, and northwest pool. Again, these are all investments, but these are things that need to be done. These buildings are getting old, and we're always looking at priority, what we need to do. But some of these investments are things that I feel that can entice somebody. You know, you probably heard me talk about it when I first took office. I walked in the police department locker room and I was embarrassed. So I realized we needed to make some changes there, which we did. We invested the money on that. And then some of these fire outstations were in horrible shape. And the goal is not only do they need it, but hopefully if somebody's choosing to come to a different department, when they walk in these buildings, I want them to do tours. That's what, our recruiters, I'm saying, hey, if somebody's considering going to a couple of different places, get them to do a tour here. Because to me, I'm the type of person, if it's $1, I would rather work in a nicer place than a dump. That's just me. I'll take $1 less to work in a much nicer place where I can come into work as opposed to a dump. So I think the investment is there. Plus, it needs to happen anyway. I don't think anybody should have to work in those conditions. So that's another reason, why we do what we do. Some of the key investments here is at Station 2 and 3, as you'll see. I thought they both turned out beautiful, and the firefighters seem to really like both of them as well. Business and development. Southland Mall, this was definitely a hot topic there, and it shows you where social media can really get away. When it was announced that Southland Mall was for sale, Southland Mall has sold many times over the last probably 10 to 20 years. But for some reason, this time it really, really went crazy on social media. So I was happy. Amy Jarecki, who manages Southland Mall and is also on our TIFA board, reached out to me and told me when the social media news broke and said, hey, just so you know, kind of filled us all in about what was going on. And she said, hey, they are selling it, but Tim, this has happened many times. So as of right now, we don't know what's going to go on, but it is for sale. So keeping us posted. And then she reached out here recently and said, hey, Tim, we do have a buyer. His name's Alex, and I can't remember the group that he's with. And she said, he's in town and he'd like to meet with you, if that's okay. And I said, absolutely. So I was able to change my schedule because he was only in town for a day, and sat down with him. Very, very nice man from the Chicago area, really down to earth, and so he was a part of ownership of before, and he enjoyed it. So he actually came back and is part of the purchase now. And their goal is to keep at the mall and invest in it and try to attract new tenants and stuff. So Southland Mall is business as usual. It just has a new owner. So just wanted to let everybody know that, and keep everybody calm on Facebook. And we did get it out there, which was nice, because he even brought it out. He was concerned because some of the things he said, well, it just seems like people don't like the mall. And I said, well, I don't understand where you saw that, because I've lived here my whole life and I've always liked Southland Mall. I told him I remember the days where there was bird cages and aquariums in the hallway. I don't know if anybody remembers those days, but it was back in the 70s. But, rest assured, it's going to continue to be the mall as long as and like he said, he's going to try to attract new businesses here, and which is what we all want. And that's just going to continue to stimulate that Eureka Road corridor there. So just wanted to update everybody on that real quick, because that was definitely, and I was very happy to see when we did put out that post, the amount of shares it was just incredible. So I was really happy to see. So just going to do a quick business presentation on some of the new businesses that has gone up over the last year or a couple of years, and then we'll get back to it. So Sam, if you want to. So that's some of the great things that's happened over the last few years, and hopefully we're going to continue to keep that growing. So we want to touch on some of the highlights in recreation. I think one of the great things is I got a call, Guido, who's our Parks and Rec director. When we were going through this, we wanted, all the directors and department heads to put together some list of things. And Guido called me and he says, Tim, I'm going through this list, and he's like, do you realize what we've been able to accomplish over the last few years? And he started throwing some figures at me and just some of the different things. And, sometimes until you sit down and you start putting them on paper and making these lists and stuff, it doesn't really hit you, but I thought it was great, and it just, it really hit me, and I appreciate you calling and telling me that, Guido, because it kind of gave me a little, but again, that's through teamwork, and it was just, a story I had to share, and kind of even made me open my eyes, like, wow. And again, that's true working as a team, so some of the things that are going on in Taylor Golf. This ain't the greatest golf weather, but we do have simulators over at Taylor Meadows right now. So Taylor Golf has a positive fund balance. This is something we're very, very proud of. Kudos to Alec. Over the last few years, we've been able to create a fund balance account for Taylor Golf. That's always been an obstacle. The city used to have to put money in the golf courses quite a bit, but it's been great because golf has seen growth. And a lot of people really seem to like our courses and seem to be coming more and more. So, we're seeing massive growth in our merchandising, our food and beverages, our driving range, our sponsorships, and our banquet operations. So while you're sitting here, we also host weddings and parties and showers. And so always keep us in mind. And we also do it over at Meadows as well. So quick plug. Major course renovations are upcoming. At both courses. We've made many improvements to overall experience at the golf course, stressing the importance of the entryways, something that I'm big on. Golf course management knows that many times during the week, before I go to work, I drive into the entry of both golf courses just to kind of look and see what that first experience is of somebody that's coming into the golf course. And I'm usually calling and, letting them know my opinion. And every time I'm on the golf course, as soon as I get off the course, Alec knows he's getting a phone call, because, I want to see, I'm looking at what somebody might see, and I want it to be a positive experience from the time you pull in the driveway to the time you drive out of the driveway. So, and we're getting there. It's, I'm getting a lot of positive feedback, and I'm very happy about that. And I actually like both our golf courses. This one's much tougher, so I'm more of a Taylor Meadows guy because I'm not that good of a golfer. So, our Taylor Sportsplex, we hosted the State Wars International Roller Hockey Tournament, which is huge. It has over 850 plus games in 14 days, and these are teams come from all around the world. So, which is great. We're hosting that again this year. So, it's a great boost for the economy, for the Sportsplex, and all the surrounding businesses. Because literally, we have people from all over the world that come to this. The last time we had it, I think we almost put Gordon's Foods out of business because we had so many people that we had to keep running and getting more food for our concessions. So we completed a weight room project to increase training opportunities for young athletes. So this way, if people are going in and having hockey practice, they can actually rent time. We have a small gym up there to where they can do some weight training as well. So that has become pretty popular as well. We host Tier 1 boys and girls playoff state tournaments. This time of year, you see those parking lots completely packed over there. And somebody told me a few years ago, I think it was Jeff Dobek, that anybody in today's NHL, there's a good chance they've at least played one time in the Taylor Sportsplex. I thought that was a pretty cool fact. And when we have those Tier 1 tournaments, a lot of times we actually have rooms up above the rinks where we actually have scouts from NHL teams that come in. And the fact that we have Bell Tire in there, they're one of the nation's leading hockey teams in the entire country. So it's great. And you get to see some people, and sometimes you see Red Wings walking around with their kids and stuff. And the one year I remember Al McPherson was here, but I didn't get a chance to meet her. So, So we host charity hockey games benefiting Foundation 14, who Mayor McRae is a part of. He actually played goalie for a shootout. They tried to get me to be in the other goalie, but with my knees and ankles, there was no way that was happening. So Dingo actually filled in for me, and that was a great time. And that was to support military veterans. So Foundation 14 gets them on motorcycles. So our Parks and Rec, we restarted the Taylor Sports Hall of Fame in 2024 with 18 former standouts. And we had 2,000 visitors that came through the petting farm last year, not including parties and schools. So that seems to be getting more and more popular. Just want to do a quick shout out, and we'll be covering this. We had a situation the other day, so I can't remember their names, but I want to give a shout out to a couple employees we had. We almost had a disaster over at our petting farm. In the quick actions of 2 employees stepping up, we had a kid fall through ice. And they were on top of it and got the kid warmed up real quick and stuff. So I know it was Jeff Adamission's daughter, but I can't remember her name. And Paige, and then I can't remember the other one as well. So really, really kudos to them. And it was, I saw the video and it was definitely an eye opener. So, also our Winterfest Light Stroll has attracted over 20,000 visitors just this year in 2024. That is becoming really, really popular. Great idea from Melanie and Guido and the team that this year we were able to add more attractions there from revenue. And that's what we try to do. We try to put that money back into it, and we try to keep those costs down, because we want everybody in the city to be able to enjoy it. And yeah, it's a little cold, but it was a great time. And me and Amy went and we were enjoying it. And we actually, Mayor Preby and his wife was there. And we were able to walk through it together, and Ralph and Lisa was there, and we had a great time. And it was cold, but it was just so nice to see everybody enjoying themselves with their family and their kids. And it is definitely a cold time of year, but that is becoming more and more popular. And to see 20,000 visitors that went through there, that's incredible just this last year or so. The Winterfest 5K had the largest number of participants this year. The Junior League World Series averaged between 4,000 and 5,000 people on its final weekend for the second straight year. That really seems to be blowing up, which has been here since 1980, is it 1 or 82, Dan? 81, okay. Which is, that's one of my favorite weeks of the year. I always enjoy that. Hopefully this year somebody can knock off Chinese Taipei, but there's always hope, and like I was talking about earlier, we're always trying to offer affordable events. The daddy-daughter dance we just had maybe a week or 2 ago, and then the mother-son date night, which I think we've had them within the last 2 weeks. Both beautiful events. I stopped into the daddy-daughter dance. It was a Wicked theme, like the movie, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful in there. The team did an incredible job. The bunny trail is always very popular. We have the free family fun days, which kind of changed a little bit from the old farmers market. Another brilliant idea. Those are completely packed. Do it maybe once a month during the summer, and that's been very, very, very popular. Summer Festival was brought back years ago. That still seems to be pretty popular. You never know which bands we're going to get. Those prices seem to go higher and higher. So me and Guido is working hard right now trying to secure an act for this year. But it just, every time we think, well, they're going somewhere else or they're not in the area. So that's never easy. So we're always trying, but we're in that process right now. Hollapalooza, definitely one of my favorite events. We have roughly 2,500 kids that come through that. So it's a long day, but it's definitely a great day. It is definitely one of my favorite events because a lot of times it's the whole family participating, and it's always a lot of fun. Winterfest Day, Winterfest Stroll, as we talked about, starts out with the 5K in the morning and then goes into the Winterfest Stroll that night. New events that we've brought up over the last few years, the DJ Light Skate. That's very, very popular. We do that at our Sportsplex, have a DJ and then have the lights going, and kids can come in and skate for a very affordable price. And if they don't have their own skates, they can rent skates there. We have Murder Mystery Night here, come in. We do that usually once or twice during the winter months. We have our comedy nights. I think we have one next week here. I always enjoy those, are a good time. If you want to see them beat me up, come on in, because I tell them to give, they ask me, hey, do you mind if we come at you? They bring it. I enjoy it. So that Tom Massey, he likes to come at me, and I get a kick out of it, so I have no problem. The night golf that was brought in a few years ago, that's a good time. I've done that a couple times. Law Day, which was brought in by Judge Shackelford, that's always a great time. Kids from all different schools come in, and there's so many different departments that come in that day. That's always a great time as well. Kids really enjoy that. The golf and beer tasting is always a good event. And the Superintendent's Revenge Tournament. So we brought that last year. It was done here. And we're going to try to do it at both courses next year. If you haven't done this, this is an absolute blast. We had a great time. And it allows the groundskeeper, basically, the superintendent, and they put obstacles. So it's their way of kind of sticking it to the golfers. And they put obstacles on the greens or in the course that you have to go around and stuff. And to add to the misery, it was even raining on the event last year. So I can tell you on this hole here, they had the leaf blower right by the hole. So trying to putt into the hole, the leaf blower was blowing the ball. You had to come in like on a certain angle. So much fun. I will do that every year. That was an absolute blast. So these are some of the things that are coming soon to your neighborhood. The Enterprise Resource Planning System, the Neighborhood Revitalization Program, and the new Police Auxiliary. So I want to talk about auxiliary real quick. That has been suspended, and it's a hot topic that people like to bring up to me a lot. So it is definitely coming back. But again, I brought up the word litigious. We're still going through that process from an incident that happened a few years ago. Once we're through that, we're going to bring back the auxiliary program. But I want to make it very clear, it is going to be much different than the way it was before. Because there's rules now, and there's insurance, and there's lawyers, and so it'll be much different than the way it was, but it will be back as soon as we can bring it back. If I'm here, I will bring it back, and that's a promise, but I have to wait until I get that go-ahead. We're still going down that route. So, good old lawyers. Sorry, Ed. So, it's a heritage park. We're currently working on the rehab of the Greenwald House, where is Maggie's Sweet Shop. We have some projects that are slated there. That building is in need of some rehab, and we're going to be knocking that out during this year. Adding a new pavilion building and playscape at the petting farm. Senator Geis helped us get a grant last year, and we're going to start that project here very soon. As many of you all seen, if you've came from this way, the new Taylor Animal Shelter. This is unbelievable. We're creating and doubling the size of the Taylor Animal Shelter, which will become the largest shelter downriver and a state-of-the-art facility. This is a $4 million investment through TIFA, and also the city has put funds into this as well, and Act 79. It's going to be unbelievable. The state has even came and looked at it, and it is amazed what we're doing there. So it was needed, and it's true. Great ideas. The building was in very, very poor shape. So the decision was, hey, why don't we just add another building on the side and then go back through and redo the building that we currently have, and we can expand the size. And we're going to do some special things for some special people when that's finally done. It's going to be an incredible building. So Lang Park, this is another unbelievable thing. Working hand in hand with Wayne County here, adding a playscape, walking paths, dog park, BMX track, skate park, disc golf, fishing docks, bridge, bathroom structure, and more. The investment is $4.6 million, and this is funded through ARPA and Wayne County. That is the old Lang Park off of Lang Road between Eureka and Northline. We wanted just a different type of park, and we were so happy that Wayne County decided to join in with us there. And when this is done, which we think will probably be either in the fall of this year or probably more likely the spring of next, fall this year, that's what I was hoping. So fingers crossed, we'll be able to do a ribbon cutting, and that place is going to be absolutely incredible. So So now I want to talk about fiscal responsibility. This is where I'm very proud of, City Council should be very proud of. We've made well-researched decisions with ARPA funds. We did not get ourselves in a hole. We used that money very wisely, one-time purchases. A lot of people use those funds to fund different things that are going to that they have to continue to pay on. We didn't do that. And that's a credit to Jason Couture, who's our CFO, and Dan, who's been in the banking industry. Those were things that they basically said right away, and I agreed 100% with them, so we stuck to that, and City Council was in full agreement of that, and so all the purchases we've done will end. And so we didn't do that. So very happy about that. Fiscal 2024 general fund audit was clean with no findings, which is very good. I'm very happy about that, and all of our audits have been really good over the last few years. Our fund balance is $19.4 million, over 42% of expenditures. That number is a little, we did earmark funds for fire engines with that, so it's not quite 19.4, so just want to be transparent. Paying down OPEB liabilities from $293 million to $119.5 million. Just those are some of the key things that we went on and we've been doing, and we're going to continue to be fiscally responsible. Jason, our CFO, is very conservative, and I like that, and that's what we try to do. You know, in the future, like I said, things are going up, so we're going into budget season, and we're going to look, and we have to got some obstacles coming in front of us, but we're going to continue to run a tight ship because that's what we like to do, and hopefully we're going to continue to keep things moving in the right direction. So just want to go over and tell everybody that I couldn't be more happier with the team I have here. You know, I do go on social media and I see things and stuff, and people are going to say what they want about me. To be honest with you, I really don't care. My family, it bugs them a little bit here and there, you know, but you know what? Pardon my language, but I got a big ass, so bring it. You know, I got big shoulders, I can carry it. But you know what? Don't talk about my team. And when I say team, I'm talking about Team Taylor. And I'm talking from me all the way down. I couldn't be more happier with the team that I have here. Because I see people online and they start talking about people, well, why is one person digging and the other people are standing around? Or you see, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? They know what they're doing. I can promise you, we have some of the best employees in the world, and they've been doing it a long time. So I get pretty defensive about that. Bring it to me. Talk about me all you want. Don't talk about the employees at Taylor because they're damn good. And I couldn't be more proud of them. And I will defend them. You're not going to have somebody in a hole when you have an excavator digging out a hole when water's shooting out in 2-degree weather. You know, nobody's complaining. Nobody's saying, well, why, you know, nobody's volunteering to do that. It's 2 degrees outside, and these guys are standing down in a 10-foot hole with water squirting all over, and then they freeze up as they're walking away. You know, the things they're doing, this weather today, they're going out and doing it. And Jim won that award today, who I now call Flipper. But our police and fire are doing that on a daily basis. You know, Jim did a great thing and he was awarded for that, but our public safety do this on a daily basis, you know, and I couldn't be more proud of them. You know, and I want to be clear, you know, we don't always agree. They get mad at me sometimes. I got to make tough decisions, but I'm not afraid to make a tough decision, and they'll tell you that. Sometimes I got to make unpopular decisions. I'm not afraid to do that, but I will always do what's best for this community. I will always do what's best for this community. Doesn't mean you're going to agree with me, but I will always do what's best for this community. So I just want to let you know that Team Taylor is darn good. And I know they don't always get the respect they deserve, but I'm telling you, I respect them and you should too, because there's so many things that we've accomplished. And there's many times that before I make my decision, I talk to my directors. I want to hear it because you know what? They're a lot smarter in their departments than I am. And before I make 99% of my decisions, I talk to Dan Bazura, my chief of staff. I couldn't be more happy to have that guy. And I'll tell you, when I decided to run for mayor, the first thing I thought, I asked Dan Bazura, hey, I'm thinking about running for mayor, but I'm only going to do it if you decide to go with me. And he said, yeah. And that's what made me decide to run for mayor. So, I mean, I couldn't be more happy. Every night we sit down and basically talk. If not every night, it's every other night. Or we might skip a night or two. But we're there burning the midnight oil, and we have those conversations. We don't always agree on everything, but we have great conversations and discuss, and I couldn't ask for a better chief of staff. I couldn't ask for better directors. I couldn't ask for better employees. So I'm sorry to carry on about that, but as you can tell, I'm passionate about that. You know, I mean, look at what, thank you. Look at what the staff has done here today. Look at the setup. You know, they were here late last night. They got here early this morning in this weather. So it just shows you the dedication that we have. You know, so let's give a round of applause to all the workers here today. Colleen and everybody, you know. I want to thank every one of you for attending today. And I hope you enjoy your lunch. So again, thank you for coming today. I couldn't be more happier to see everybody. I know I'm the mayor, but I'm also a member of the Rotary, and I'm very proud to be a member of the Rotary. And I appreciate them asking me to come here and speak today. And again, thank you so much, everybody, for coming and enjoy your lunch.
Great job, Luke. So proud of you. Okay, I'm on. Wow, wasn't that amazing? Wow. Let's give the mayor another round of applause. Very good. I would like to thank all of our guests for supporting the Taylor Rotary Club. This is a Rotary function. All the money goes to our charities, and we do a lot for our community. And I'm very proud of our Rotarians that are here and everyone else that's here for making this happen today, making this a great event. Thank Carl and his staff, Joe and Sam, for all their work. Oh, come on, you guys, stand up. You guys are amazing over there. Look at this place. The TV screens, the sound, everything. They did a great job today. Thank you so much. The city staff, for all the workers and all the hard work you've done. The staff here at the Lakes of Taylor, thank you so much. And the special Rotarians I would like to thank is Larry, Keith, Tanya, and Armando for your extra efforts that you put in to make this day so special. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and announce Colleen here from the Lakes of Taylor, and she's going to have us release us here for lunch. Here in probably about a half hour or so, we'll be doing our 50-50 raffle. That is going to be a lot of fun. So Colleen, come on up. Thank you.